Bueno, muy buenas tardes a todas las personas que se empiezan a unir a esta sesión informativa del día de hoy. Mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Karen Martínez, parte del equipo de Consejería Académica y Relaciones Internacionales en Colfuturo. Y el día de hoy estamos realizando esta sesión informativa con University of Southern California, ubicada en Estados Unidos. Y como pueden verlo, estoy muy bien acompañada con representantes de 8 facultades de toda la universidad, entre las que se encuentran la Escuela de Leyes, la Escuela de Políticas Públicas, la de Comunicación Social, Escuela de Negocios, el Colegio de Letras, Artes y Ciencias y la Escuela de Gerontología y también la de Ingeniería y Arquitectura. Es muy importante aclararles un poco la metodología de esta sesión, que es un poco diferente a las que habitualmente realizamos. Inicialmente vamos a tener una breve introducción de 15 minutos presentando todas las generalidades de la universidad y los datos que para todos ustedes sean relevantes, y posteriormente vamos a dirigirnos a unas salas de Meet que corresponderán a su interés de estudio. Entonces, si ustedes están interesados en llevar a cabo un posgrado en la Escuela de Negocios o en la Escuela de Leyes, se dirigirán al link de Meet que los dirige a esta sala y a este representante. Bien, allí se les va a hablar en específico sobre la oferta académica que haya al respecto, sobre las opciones de financiación, quizás temas también de hospedaje, y ustedes van a poder tener la oportunidad de solucionar sus inquietudes de forma directa con el representante directo también de esta facultad. Quiero recordarles a todos y todas que este es el lugar ideal para que puedan resolver sus inquietudes y preguntas, así que por favor no duden en dirigir sus novedades a todos los representantes que nos acompañan en esta ocasión. Y adicionalmente, si todavía no tienen total claridad sobre el funcionamiento del programa Crédito Beca, los invitamos a nuestras charlas el primer viernes y segundo sábado de cada mes. Como sabrán, estos webinars se están haciendo en el marco de nuestros convenios y USC ofrece becas por facultades, dependerá de la facultad y del programa la cantidad o el porcentaje de descuento de beca. Por eso reitero la importancia de que lo pregunten directamente en la sala a la que serán dirigidos. Entonces, sin mayor preámbulo, Jessica and everyone, thank you so much for being here today with us with COLFUTURO. You can go ahead and start your presentation.
So, hi everyone, my name is Lisa Kwan. I'm the Associate Director at the Office of Graduate Admissions. So we're Central Admissions, and I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to USC. Afterwards, if you have any more program-specific questions, you are welcome to reach, you're going to be breaking out into groups and you can ask them for more information. So just a quick introduction in case everyone's not familiar with USC. So we're located in Los Angeles. We're actually an urban school very close to downtown LA, if anyone's ever been here. So we have 2 campuses and we have 23 different schools covering over 400 plus graduate programs. And that covers, of course, PhD, master's, and graduate certificates. And so in our university, we have 26,000 graduate and professional students, and more than 25%, 27% of them are international students. So we cover over 135 countries are represented in our student population. So it's diversity and a very extensive population is represented here. In terms of our school itself, the class sizes, we are 9-to-1 ratio. So that means for every 9 students, we have 1 faculty. And usually the average class size is around 26 students. Now, of course, research and innovation opportunities are available throughout the campus and throughout our program. So something that you can explore further depending on what your field of study that you would like to pursue. So something to look into. And on top of that, of course, as I mentioned, alumni network is a very big part of the USC kind of package and what you can get from attending USC. And these are things that you can look into in terms of different resources that our university is able to provide. So I'm also going to go through just a few, tips and things that are important for students if you are thinking about applying for graduate admissions. So some key points. For PhD, majority of PhD, the deadline is December 1st. So you still have a few months if you're planning to apply for PhD. Of course, that differs for different departments. For example, I think Viterbi is December 15th. So it's important that you check the website for the department that you're planning to apply for, especially for master's. Master's is complete across the board. There's all different types of application deadlines. So it's important that you're checking, especially if you're thinking about starting in the spring, summer instead of the fall. Okay, so if you're kind of unsure about which program specifically you want to apply for each term, your you're allowed to apply to up to 3 programs, and that's for per term. So in a year, that's 9 different programs. And in terms of application fee, just so everyone knows, there are fee waivers that are available. So if you're interested in checking for if you're eligible for one, please check our website. And if you are planning to apply for a fee waiver, please know that it's very important that you apply for the fee waiver first before submitting your application and paying for the fee, because we can't refund the fee. So if you are planning to do that, please remember to apply for the fee waiver first, and then submit your application. Now, other things that are really important for students that if you're coming from Colombia is, of course, if you're putting your application together, a lot of, in terms of your personal statement, in terms of your letter of recommendation, or other things that your program might want you to submit, that is up to the program that you're applying to. But specifically for central admissions, things that you need to remember is we are asking you to submit transcripts for all your post-secondary institutions. So anything you attended after secondary school, we would need. So, and another thing to note is that you need to submit both official original language and English transcripts. So a lot of students sometimes submit only English because they think, we're applying to a school in the United States. Well, we do need both. So if you are able to submit these ahead of time, along with your application, that will help your application go a lot more smoothly, and there won't be as much hiccups, and it won't slow down the admission process for you. Another thing to know, obviously, is the English proficiency requirements. So USC accepts 4 different tests. So Cambridge is, I know, a very popular one in Colombia and in Latin and South America. So this is something that we recently added last year. So now we have TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, and Cambridge. So these are all exams that you could choose whichever one you prefer and to submit scores for. There is minimum scores listed here. But just so you know, if you aren't able to hit the minimum score, it doesn't necessarily mean that you won't be admitted. It might just mean that you'll be admitted, but you might have to take an additional exam that's offered by USC, that's completely in person, and it's free as well. So just things for you to note. I know sometimes students get discouraged to apply because they might not meet the minimum English requirements, but just know that there are options for you if you're not able to meet the English, but in other aspects of your application, in terms of academic and professional, you meet what the program is looking for, then it's not something that you have to, it shouldn't defer you from trying. Okay, for GRE and GMAT exams, a lot of USC programs do not not required anymore. So it's really important that you check the program that you're specifically applying to and seeing if it is required, and if it isn't, then that's something that can help save you a lot of time and money as well. So like I said, if you are planning to, when you do take these exams, please make sure that you are sending the test scores officially electronically. So usually after you take it, for example, there's a way to put the school's code, like USC's code, and then you can send it directly to USC. So we don't accept, like a student report for those test scores. So things to keep in mind. So I just gave you a general oversight of, things that people usually have questions about in the graduate application. Like I said, more specific things about the program you can ask depending on what you're interested in. And if you do have any questions, I'm happy to answer. If not, I think everyone's gonna break out into groups. For people that, just to note, if the department that you're interested in or the school you're interested in doesn't happen to be present here in one of the panelists, you're welcome to stay behind, and I'm happy to answer any questions I can or direct you to the right person. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I think maybe now is a good time each of us can briefly introduce ourselves and the programs we represent before we split into the breakout rooms. So I'll go first, and then I'll call out the next person and we can go that way. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Stern. I work in the School of Engineering at USC. If you are interested in a master's or PhD program in engineering or computer science, I'd love to share more information with you. If you do not have an engineering background, there are still many programs programs and pathways that I can share with you, including specialized data science programs and other kind of interdisciplinary education. I will pass it on to my colleague, Marisol.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marisol Rios, and I'm with the Price School of Public Policy. We offer master's degrees in public policy, public administration, health administration, urban planning, and we also offer PhD programs in urban planning and public administration. We also offer a professional doctorate degree. If you're interested in any of those programs, please join me in my Meet group. Thank you. Monica?
Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Reynoso, and I am from the Marshall School of Business. And I will be speaking on business MBA programs and specialized master's programs, including finance, business analytics, marketing. So if you have any interest in any of those programs, I'd be happy to meet you in our Google Meet. And I will pass it over to Justin.
Hey, my name is Justin Stuttle. I work with the USC School of Architecture. We have programs in architecture, landscape architecture, heritage conservation, and building science. So if you're interested, please stop by my Google Meet, and I can pass it off to Desiree.
Hi, everyone. My name is Desiree Mendez. I am the admissions counselor for the Masters of Science in Applied Psychology program under the Thornslife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. So if you're interested in applying psychology in the non-clinical aspects, definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to give you more information about our program. And I will pass it on to, I think we have Maeve left.
Hi, everyone. My name's Maeve. I'm representing the Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. So for anyone interested in master's programs across journalism, communication, public relations and advertising, public diplomacy, or a PhD in communication, then please feel free to come to my Google Meet to learn more. And I'll pass it on to Allison, my colleague.
Hi, I'm Allison Hill from the Annenberg School. I am joining just for this intro session. You'll be in wonderful hands when you join the session that will be led by Maeve Lee. Thank you. Am I missing any?
Ok, perfecto, sí. Entonces les voy a compartir a todos a través del chat cada una de las salas a las que se pueden dirigir, como les decía, dependiendo el interés en el área de estudio que tengan. Entonces se las voy a compartir y cada uno se puede ir dirigiendo.
My name is Sarah Grucius. I am the Director of Special Projects and Adjunct Assistant Professor of Law at USC Gould. I also graduated with my JD from USC, and I am a practicing attorney in California. You are welcome to reach me at my email here, or you can scan the QR code for more information about our programs. I also wanted to share, we have an office in Mexico that sometimes does support other countries in Latin America. So you are welcome to reach out to Angela McCracken, who is the director of that office. If you have any questions at all with the application process or how COLFUTURO works with USC, she can be your point person there. She was not able to attend today's meeting, but we'll be back in the office soon. Okay, and so a little bit about Gould School of Law. I wanted to start by just talking about the benefits of studying law in the US, because it's not a path that every attorney takes, but it is a really kind of exciting path with a lot of different opportunities for you. The first is very obvious, is that by coming to the US to study law, you will have a better understanding of the US legal system, and specifically how common law is adjudicated in the United States. This can be extremely helpful or even necessary if you plan to work with US clients, or you are working with clients who may have interests in the US. One of the benefits that I know my colleagues shared about attending USC is our network. And by coming to USC Gould and USC as a whole, we have a very international student body. And this is a fantastic asset for you in your professional development, because as a student, you get to connect with our faculty, adjunct professors who are practitioners in their field, students who will go on to become JD students in the US, as well as attorneys and law students from all around the world. And so really, it's an excellent way to expand your network and get to know other people in your area of interest and make friends that will be with you your whole life. As a student at Gould, you can take classes with our JD students. We have a lot of different course options, from what we call black letter law, the standard such as contracts, torts, constitutional law, to more niche subjects like sports law, video game law, law and AI, just depending on what you're interested in. I think coming to LA in particular is a really exciting opportunity. If you haven't been to the US or stayed in the US for a long period of time, there's some, cultural nuances that you can appreciate while you're living here. And you also have the opportunity to extend your visa through what we call optional practical training to work or volunteer in the US after the degree. And then one of the final really exciting opportunities that I wanted to highlight is that the US, we don't have a national practice of law. So there's no national law license here. It's run by each state. However, as a foreign educated attorney or a foreign educated law student, you may be able to sit for a US bar exam in California, in New York, or some other states around the country, and have a license to practice law in that state. And so this is a really unique way, with just 1 year of education, to gain access to the practice of law in the US. If you have a first degree in law, we offer a number of different master's programs. I'm going to focus mostly on the master's programs rather than the JD, because that's typically where we find the most interest for our students who have a first degree in law from another country. We have, as you can see, quite a number of different programs. Our most flexible program is our 1-year LLM. It has a fall and spring start, and it's offered on campus. There are only 2 required courses for that program. So you have really the most flexibility possible with designing your courses and figuring out, if you want to sit for a bar or specialize in a specific area, that gives you that opportunity. If you're interested in having some foundational understanding of the US, or you feel that having a Master of Laws may be helpful for your professional development, but you're not able to leave your country, we also have an online LLM. It is completely online. It offers 3 start periods in summer, fall, and spring. And you could qualify through the online program to sit for the California bar. So that way you still have some access to potentially practicing in the US after graduation. We have a 2-year extended LLM, and this is a little bit unique because in the first year, you will be taking a mandatory set of classes. And the classes are really designed to help you acclimate to the US legal system, as well as focusing on improving your legal English. In the second year, you can select one of our on-campus LLM programs to matriculate into, depending on your preference. And then the following programs are specialized LLMs in alternative dispute resolution, LLM in business law, LLM in international business and economic law, LLM in media and entertainment law, and LLM in privacy law and cybersecurity. And these programs are meant to help you if you have that particular preference in those fields. So they generally have more required courses in those specific areas. And then having the specialization in your degree and on your diploma can be a signal to employers that that's your area of specialty. It's up to you, but it is an option depending on kind of your preference. So a little bit more about our LLM programs. They're all 1 year with the exception of the 2-year program. And the online program, which is offered on a part-time basis only. With each of our master's degrees, you have the opportunity to enroll in an optional certificate specialization. That would indicate then, if you completed the certificate requirements, you would receive both your diploma in your degree as well as a certificate of completion in your specific field. I mentioned in the previous slide that we have courses that can prepare you for certain bar exams, certain jurisdictions bar exams, and those are California, New York, Washington State, Texas, and the District of Columbia. We also have the opportunity for students to potentially apply to the JD program as a transfer student. So this is different than applying to the JD program directly. You would start with the LLM and then apply for the JD program at the end of your LLM year. You do not have to take the LSAT if you apply through this program. And you also receive the benefit of having some of your units from the LLM degree applied toward the JD degree. It takes 3.5 years to complete both of those programs, and you do earn both degrees, the LLM and the JD. For most of our programs, we offer both a fall and spring start, and you can go to our website to look at the different priority deadlines depending on which program you might be interested in. A little bit more about the certificate tracks that we offer with our degrees. We have 6 certificates for our on-campus programs. If you enroll in the 1-year LLM, you have the opportunity to select among any of these 6 certificates. If you are in a specialized LLM, then there are certain certificates that are aligned with that LLM curriculum. And you can see what those options are, again, on our website. But the certificates that we offer include alternative dispute resolution, business law, law and artificial intelligence, media and entertainment law, transnational law and business, and technology and entrepreneurship law. And so these are, again, a nice way to specialize your focus while you're developing your curriculum, and that could also be used to potential employers after graduation and demonstrate your knowledge in a specific field. A little bit more about our BAR tracks. So I will start by saying that we at USC cannot guarantee that you will be eligible to sit for a bar exam. However, if you have earned a first degree in law in your home country, and you complete certain required courses as part of the LLM, you are most likely going to be eligible to sit for at least these 5 states or jurisdictions and possibly others. So we offer what we call BAR tracks, and basically we show you the curriculum required set by each bar exam jurisdiction, so you can be sure that you are meeting those course requirements during your LLM. And we also have advisors who can speak to you about which bar exam might be the best fit for you depending on your professional goals. We are very familiar with how the bar exam works, so we can talk to you about what the format of that exam looks like, how you can start preparing during the LLM year, as well as how to register and apply for those exams. I talked a little bit about this in the previous slide, so I won't spend too much time here, but this would be, again, for students who want to apply directly, or apply as a transfer student as opposed to applying directly. The benefit is that there's no LSAT required and that you can apply some of your LLM courses toward the JD to graduate in 3.5 years with both degrees instead of 4 years. And then if you have a first degree, but it's not in law, we also offer the Master of Studies in Law degree programs. We offer them both online and on campus. And these programs are designed to give you a foundational understanding of law while understanding that you're not going to practice law. So these degrees are not intended to enable you to practice law. You will not be able to sit for the bar exam after these degrees, but they give you a lot more understanding of how the law may be applied, and specifically in certain situations. So we understand that law is a really broad topic, and it applies in pretty much every field in some way. And so if you happen to be working in a field where there is overlap with regulations, a developing area of law, things even including things like contract review or application of regulations, you may be interested in these programs. And just as with our LLM programs, you do have the opportunity to earn an optional certificate specialization with the the MSL, and you can see our different specializations here in business law, compliance, dispute resolution, entertainment law and industry, healthcare compliance, human resources law and compliance, law and government, privacy law and cybersecurity, real estate law, social work administration, and technology and entrepreneurship law. So you can see all of the various fields where law has some, interaction with non-practicing attorneys, people who are not actually practicing law. And so it can be very helpful if you're interested in one of those fields. We also offer a 4-week summer law and English program that occurs from mid-July to mid-August and is intended typically as a preparatory course for the LLM. With this program, in the morning, you'll attend a substantive lecture on a specific area of law, and in the afternoon, you'll attend legal English courses. We also coordinate field trips for students around the city. So including this picture here is taken at the Getty Center. You'll have the opportunity to visit a courthouse, attend a baseball game, and do a lot of other fun things. And most of all, you'll have fun spending time in Los Angeles, getting to know your future classmates, USC, getting acclimated before your program starts. So that can be a really helpful segue between, entering the US, entering a new program of study, a new university, before all of your actual studies begin. So now I'll talk a little bit more about what you can expect if you enroll with us as a student. We pride ourselves on providing a lot of student support. USC is a private university, and generally that means we have more resources to use for our students. So we have quite a large staff that is specific to our LLM and MSL students. We support your visa issuance, including the I-20 processing. We have career and academic advisors, student services, as well as alumni support. So at USC, we're not just connecting with you while you're a student, but we're also staying engaged with you through your whole career. So before you apply as a student and after you graduate as an alum, we love to stay connected. And that is what helps our alumni network remain so strong and so engaged. A little bit more about the advising support that we offer. We have several advisors that are specific to academic advising as well as career and bar support. We host workshops to help you, particularly if you're looking to find a position in the US after graduation. We offer workshops on creating a US style resume, which is different from a CV, conducting interviews, writing your cover letter, networking, all of the professional skills that you'll need to be successful after you graduate in the job market. Our students can also participate in LLM-only job fairs, and we host a number of networking and other professional events on campus that students can access. For students who are interested in sitting for the bar exam, we have a series of workshops for early bar prep. And these are really meant to give you an overview of what to expect on the exam. They are not a full preparatory course, but really just a way to see what it's going to be like. So in these workshops, you'll be introduced to specific subjects tested on the bar exam, and you will also walk through the different ways the bar exam will test your knowledge, because it's made up of 3 components, including multiple choice, essays, and performance tests. And so these workshops give you, again, a preview of what those look like before you start your full-time bar study after graduation. And of course, we want to make sure you are successful during the LLM year. So we have prepared a course on academic excellence, and it's meant to help students who have been educated outside of the US or who have no experience in law school understand how a US law school operates in terms of the expectations for class participation, how to read and brief a case, which might be new, particularly if you're not from a common law country. And just really helping with study tips, exam tips, all of the things you need to know so that you can be as successful as possible during your studies. I want to touch a little bit more about living in Los Angeles because we are one of a few schools that offers on-campus graduate housing where you would be living with other law graduate students. The benefit, there are a lot of benefits to this. Number one, it's really easy. It's, you don't have to go secure your own housing, tour things, especially if you might not be living in LA at that point. It's on campus, it's fully furnished, utilities included, and you'll be getting that kind of that built-in community because you're going to be living with other students. It's just about a 20-minute walk from the law school. It is a secure facility. We also have family housing options, although these are a little bit more limited. And then if you decide that you want to really get the most LA experience possible, you are certainly welcome to choose to live in a neighborhood outside of campus housing. There are a lot of diverse neighborhoods in the greater LA area, from Santa Monica to Century City, Silver Lake, Pasadena, downtown, Koreatown. So you can get really a full experience that's really fun. And there is a metro stop right across the street from the law school, which makes it a little easier to, if you were interested in living a little further away, to kind of branch out. So you'd be able to take that. The metro line that runs by the law school goes from downtown to Santa Monica. So now we want to talk a little bit about the application process and scholarship. So I know in the previous presentation, they talked about graduate admissions. So our process is a little bit different because you'll actually be applying through LSAC instead of the graduate admissions website. LSAC is essentially a clearinghouse for all law schools. So if you will be applying to more than one law school, it is helpful and possibly required that you apply through LSAC. But the good news is that once you create an account with LSAC and send your documents to them, you can very easily apply to multiple schools. You don't need to kind of send your materials to each school on your own. Our deadline, our priority deadline for fall is February 1st. So you have plenty of time if you're thinking about fall 2026. If you are thinking about this spring 2026, you still have until October 1st. So you also have time if that may be something that you are considering. Now, these are our priority deadlines. So we recommend that you apply as soon as possible, but particularly if you are interested in receiving a housing stipend, which is one of the scholarships that we offer, you do need to submit your application by the priority deadline. If you are not able to get your application in by the deadline, we do take applications after this date on a rolling basis until, I don't remember our final dates, but a little bit closer to the beginning of the semester. In particular, if we need to issue an I-20, that does take some time. We do offer a fee waiver for LSAC. So I will have the code for that in a couple of slides. And you can also email me if you're not able to capture the code in this presentation. But if you're interested in applying to us, and we do require LSAC for all non-US transcripts, you can request a fee waiver to apply, to submit your application to us for free. There are other fees associated with LSAC that we will not be able to cover, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about LSAC. So in terms of the requirements, this is what we require for all of our programs. We do require English fluency score, and we accept the TOEFL or IELTS. We do not have a minimum, and waivers are available. So if you are a native English speaker, if you went to an English speaking institution, or if you have another reason why you may be eligible for a waiver, please feel free to contact us and we'd be happy to discuss that further with you. While we recommend a TOEFL of 90 or above and an IELTS of 6.5 or above, again, these are just our recommendations and they're not hard requirements. If you are concerned about how your English score may impact your application, again, you're welcome to talk to us or schedule a visit with an admissions advisor, and we can talk about what options we might recommend for you. There is no minimum GPA requirement. And as you can see by scanning this list, we also do not have any standardized testing required apart from your English fluency scores. So there's no LSAT or GRE or GMAT required for the LLMs or the MSL. Instead, what we ask is that you submit the application on the LSAC website. You provide us with your official transcripts, a personal statement about why you're interested in studying at USC Gould, as well as your resume. You'll note that letters of recommendation are not required. If you have very strong letters of recommendation that you would like to attach to your application, you can email them to us, and we do accept up to 2 letters of recommendation. Right, and the big question about scholarships. Okay, so the good news is that if you are accepted through COLFUTURO for a scholarship, we have an agreement with them for a 50% scholarship automatically. So that's quite nice. It's a very significant scholarship. It is our most significant scholarship, indeed, that we offer. If you are applying outside of that, you were not selected, you can still be considered for scholarship automatically. So there's no separate application that we require. We will review your materials for not only admission, but also scholarship consideration. There are 2 types of scholarships that we offer. One is merit-based, which goes up to half tuition, and the other is a housing stipend. Now, as I mentioned previously, you must apply by our priority deadline to be eligible for housing stipend consideration, and we offer these up to $10,000. If you receive a housing stipend, you can apply it toward your tuition or your living expenses. It's up to you. Okay, that is the end of my presentation, but I did want to share some of these links with you. I'll see if I can update or share in the chat or in some way, but you can request a fee waiver from us. You can email us directly if you have questions. You can schedule an appointment with an individual admissions advisor if you want to have a more detailed conversation about your goals, the program, your application. You can sign up for news and see upcoming events that we'll be hosting through this link. And we also have a list of our recent alums who have consented to be contacted by prospective students. So if you would like to be connected with a recent alumna or alumnus, please reach out to us and we're happy to share that list with you, and you're welcome to talk to them directly. I also just want to say that we will be in Bogota at the end of this month. I unfortunately will not be me, but my colleague, our alum will be there at the Education USA event to meet with you if you're able to attend. If you're not able to attend that event, again, I'm happy to meet with you or answer any questions. Don't know if there's a way for me to add. There's a chat option, but that is the end of my presentation. Again, I'm happy to answer questions if anyone has questions, or you are welcome to email us if you'd rather ask your questions in a more private capacity. There's a lot to consider as you can, look at master's programs. So if you have questions about any of these as you go through the process, you're welcome to reach out to us at any time. Thank you again for joining me. I hope to receive your application at USC Gould and connect with you soon.
Soy Marisol Ríos, soy Assistant Dean de la Facultad de Políticas Públicas at the Price School of Public Policy. And so thank you for joining me today. Jorge is the other person. Is Jorge?
Él está acá, pero no sé si o sea, no sé si como que dijo, no, pues mientras arreglan esto me voy a otro cuarto, o está comiendo o algo así, entonces, o quizás es tímido. también.
Oscar, ¿en qué maestría estás interesado?
Yo tengo unas preguntas súper puntuales. Entonces, la primera es que yo estoy interesado en el PhD en Public Policy, en Price.
Okay.
Entonces, ahí va un asunto. O sea, como que está el programa y hay como unos subfields. Entonces, en el field que yo estoy interesado es International Development. Así que aquí hay varias preguntas. Entonces, la primera es, este PhD en particular, ¿cómo funciona? ¿Son como los de psicología, donde uno como que, oiga, profesor no sé quiéncito, yo quisiera trabajar con usted, se está recibiendo como assistance next year? ¿O este es más como en economía que uno aplica y pues si hace match, a uno le dicen que sí y ya?
No
Entonces,
más
en este
aplica.
caso, ¿cómo funciona?
Son los programas en los Estados Unidos, y voy a hablar en español, pero si no puedo
Go
traducir,
ahead.
voy a cambiar. I'm going to start
And switch to English.
I'm going to switch.
Yes, it will be easier.
I'll just switch, but if there's something you want to ask me, I could respond in Spanish.
Got it.
Understand me. So we have two PhD programs at USC. We have the PhD in public policy, and we also have the PhD in urban planning. And so at USC, and typically in the US, I think international students are used to maybe reaching out to faculty to find out whether or not they are accepting students. But in the US, it's usually the committee that makes the decision and who gets. So there's an admissions committee. So you reach out to a faculty and asking if they're going to be accepting students is not the right, at least not at the price. And so I wouldn't recommend you doing that. My recommendation for you, if you're interested in the PhD program, is identifying faculty that are doing research in the area that you're interested. Now, you can reach out to them based on their interest and really more connect with them on their research interests. So that's really, the important part is reach out, connecting with them and seeing what they're doing research and if it matches the research that you're doing. Not so much on the admissions side where you ask, are you taking students, but more on what are you interested, what are they doing in research, and is that a match for you? So that is the direction that I would take. Have you visited our website? Have you identified some faculty?
Yes, but okay, full disclosure. I'm a Trojan alumni.
That's what I noticed. I noticed in your picture that, and I was like, is he a USC alum? Okay. Oh, okay.
That's the thing. But my question for this is like the way it works in Dornsife, it's like you don't reach out professors and that sort of things. And given the cuts that US is facing right now, for instance, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I was exploring this same program in George Washington University, and they told me, hey, usually this is people who accept 8 people. Unfortunately, due to cuts, we are accepting full funded only 2 students. The remaining ones usually come with a scholarship from the employer for external scholarships and that sort of things. So in the bottom line, they told me hey, here, the similar from the program in psychology at Dornsife, when you have to reach out a professor and say hey, I would like to do the research with you. I think you should reach out to Price, and that was about to write to you, but this webinar comes just really soon. Also, that's the reason I'm reaching to you 2 things, and the first one is what is the funding options for next year? And I'm asking you this because COLFUTURO gave you $5,000, but for my master's, my former employer spent $112,000, which is a ridiculous amount of money. But for the PhD, which the outlook that Price in particular has for next academic year.
So, I mean, right now, as far as we know, so we didn't cut the number of students that we brought in this year. And so, but just so you know, it is competitive. So we only bring in 4 students, and this has been, yes. So we might admit maybe 8 students with the goal to get 4 students to enroll for each of our, because we have 2 PhD programs. So we hope to enroll 4 students in our public policy program. We hope to enroll 4 students in the urban planning program. And so a total of 8 students we would enroll. And it's full funding though. So we provide full funding for the 4 years. 5th year, it really, by the 5th year, the students, if you need a 5th year, students are really, the expectation is that you're already doing some research assistant work, TA work, but we fund the 4 years of your program. And that's including the tuition, registration, the cost, and there's health benefits, and the stipend. I always forget what the stipend amounts probably in the 35,000 a year. So we don't admit students that don't come with funding. So even if you had, at least that's the problem with the PhD programs. First of all, it's the funding, but also the resources. So faculty to be able to support you. So that's the big thing about the PhD programs. And so that's how our PhD programs. We didn't. Yeah, there was I think at USC some programs that I think ended up. I don't know if they didn't admit students or they put it on pause, their admissions. So I don't know. We moved on with our admissions decisions. So we admitted the students that we plan to admit this past cycle.
Got it.
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't heard anything about next year. So I think the plan is to still, bring in the same class size as we did, this past year. So that, that's all I can share with you right now. Our PhD program, our PhD in public policy does require the GRE. And this year, our urban planning is waiving the GRE just this year. They're waiving it for this year. They wanted the committee wanted to test it out. But the public policy, because it's very focused, and so it's important for the faculty to see the skill set and for students to be able to demonstrate that they're going to be able to do the quant work. And so quant is very important, aside from everything else, your academics, the fit, because fit's going to be very important. Aside from test scores, fit is going to be key. Are you a good fit? Are we a good fit for you? Because you want to make sure that there's faculty that are going to be able to provide you and be able to support you, that are doing the research that you're interested in. And so it's very important that you identify faculty that are doing the research that you're interested in, because then there's no benefit to you, because you're not going to have the support from us. And you're not going to have the support from the school. So that's very important.
Got it. Okay, cool. No, I think that was most of the idea. Thank you for having said about the quant area. I feel like it's an open secret, but now that you're also saying quant, it's also important, because we are thinking probably public policy has this a nuance, which is quant, but it's not so quant. But thank you for that. I'm gonna do my best to retaking it again. I think a 160 is not enough, but thank you for your honesty regarding how competitive the admissions. Other than that, I think everything is in your website. So that's all my question.
So you did your undergrad at Dornsife?
I did my master's in Dornsife.
Oh, you did your master's in Dornsife. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your master's in?
It was a master's in applied economics. Master's of Science in Applied Economics and Econometrics. Yes, it's a long name, but I got it.
Oh, okay. So if you come in, which I think you should be able to come, the PhD requires 60 units, but if you have a related master's degree, in your case, if you are admitted, you should be able to use some of your master coursework as some of the prerequisites. So instead of you having to complete 60 units, you might complete
lower than that.
40 some units. But with your degree, because you have the master's, the master's in economics, you might be able to what we call advanced standing. So there's a that you can come in as advanced standing with your master's degree in economics. So the students let me see, I'm trying to find this. Yeah, your prerequisites. So there's about 6 or 8 units of prerequisite if you're coming in, because we don't require a master's degree. So students who don't have a master's degree or don't have a related degree, they have to complete, between 6 and 8 units. And I think in your case, because of the degree that you have, you can come in, like what I said, come in as advanced standing. And so,
Got it.
yeah, so instead of having to complete the 60 units, the 57, 58, you wouldn't have to complete those prerequisite courses. So does that make
Cool.
sense?
No, actually, that sounds really great. So I don't know, like if Jorge may have questions, like I don't want to steal all the spotlight to me, and like I think like sharing is important. Jorge, do you have any questions before I do my last one?
No, is Jorge not there?
No, I think Jorge's not there. Okay, so I'm gonna close this by asking you like which is the procedure to request a waiver. Oh, Jorge, sorry. Okay, I think he's here.
No, Jorge. ¿Preguntas, Jorge?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so my last question, Marisol, is like how should I request a waiver? Because
So
I do know like if you're an alumni, technically like you can request a waiver.
So
But which is the procedure? Like inside the application, or should I send something with file
Let me-
online or?
let me find the link, and I'm going to drop it with you right now, and I'll send you the link on how to go about requesting. Since you're a USC alum, you get the application fee waivers. Where's the link? Application fees. It's the waivers. It's a little tricky because let me see. I'm going to find it right now. Hold on a second. I don't know why it wasn't showing up.
Oh no, Marisol, let's do something. Just give me your email, and I'm gonna send you an email, and you can send me the link back. I think it will be easier.
Here, I found the link.
Oh,
I found the
fantastic.
link. Let me
Okay, that's great.
find the link. And okay, this is chat. How do I chat? My email. Am I giving my email? Like I said, I'm not familiar with Google Meet, and so I think this is my. Oh, here we go. Chat with everybody. I was trying to figure out the link. Did you see? Did you get the link?
To resources fee waiver, graduacy. Got it. Yes. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you have to request, and then they'll send you a code, and then that's what you use to when you apply.
Fantastic. Okay, cool, Marisol.
And then my email. Here's my email in case you have any questions.
Absolutely.
You can email. Jorge,
Amazing.
Jorge, do you have any questions about the price school, and if there's a program that I can talk to you about? Karen?
No.
No.
Well, Marisol, I
Okay.
think like this is everything for today. Thank you for your most valuable asset, your time. If it's destiny, I hope to see you in person next year.
Definitely.
Otherwise, thanks again.
Yeah, no, email me. If you have any questions, email me. I'm going to stay on here in case somebody else pops in.
Well, just one, like this is like a dark question, but if you have the answer, I would really appreciate it. Like, do you know where I can find the average scores that pass
Hola, Marisol.
or in the GRE?
Oh, the GRE. I don't think we have. I'll have them and I'll send them to you. If you email me, if you can email me, and then I can try to see if I can have. The GREs are important, but again, it's going to be everything.
It's a comprehensive evaluation. Like it's not one single. Yes, got it.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Maeve Lee. I'm Senior Assistant Director at USC Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism. And today I'm going to be talking more about the different graduate pathways that we offer at the Annenberg School. As mentioned in the general presentation done by Lisa, USC is located in downtown Los Angeles. And so that's one of the strengths for the Annenberg School, since our programs focus on communication, journalism, public relations and advertising, and public diplomacy. Los Angeles is a big hub for all of those, not only in terms of career and career development, but also just for the kinds of jobs that students are getting upon graduation. So I'll run through why why USC Annenberg. I'll talk about our different degree programs in communication, journalism, and public relations, and public diplomacy, and then talk a little bit more about where our graduates go to work after graduating and some next steps related to the application process and things of that sort. So why USC Annenberg? Like I already mentioned, our location right basically in the heart of downtown LA is really convenient for students who are studying in the communication and journalism and public relations and advertising fields. We are sort of in a area where a lot of alum stay to work because the jobs that you would get post-grad are here in LA. And so you're really surrounded by professionals, not only who are coming in to help teach your classes, but also you're really well connected to alumni in terms of, getting jobs and internships while you're studying here. The academic rigor is really impressive. Like I've said before, a lot of the faculty that come and teach are either professionals who work out in the field in public relations or public diplomacy or whatever their chosen area is, or they're faculty who are PhD educated, who have studied and honed their skills in that particular field for years and years. There's also state-of-the-art facilities. So we have on campus in our building our media center, which is a fully functioning newsroom. Our media center is the second largest newsroom in all of LA, second only to the Los Angeles Times. And so specifically for journalism students, but open to anyone, even students outside of Annenberg can come into the media center and get involved and really add on to, the academic and classes that you're taking. So students can do writing assignments, they can do live TV, they can audition to anchor, they can get involved with various different podcasts, they can do more of the behind the scenes and post-production work and really putting the shows together. And anyone who does work through the Media Center is published through Annenberg Media. And so it's a really great way for students to kind of practice their the things that they're learning in the classroom and apply them, in the outside world before getting an internship or before getting a job post-grad. That kind of goes hand in hand with the experiential learning that we really emphasize at Annenberg. So we really emphasize that students are not doing tests as much as they're really out in the field doing projects, interviewing, working on group projects, working on teams. And out in the field could mean out on campus, or it could mean out in our backyard of downtown LA and really exploring the different neighborhoods and cultures and things that all sort of come together here. And so the experiences students are getting in the classroom and outside of the classroom really build on the education that they're getting. And then we also have a really strong speaker series. And so there's constantly different speakers from different companies, both within Los Angeles. Some of the speakers are alums. Because we're such a well-connected school, they bring in all different various speakers as they relate to the programs that we offer. And so students have really great networking opportunities surrounding those speaker series, as well as getting a chance to really learn from the professionals themselves directly about, various key topics and things. Like an example would be, we had someone from Microsoft who was running the Copilot AI program, and he came and talked to Annenberg students and staff all about how that is working, how they're implementing it into their Outlook and other Microsoft Suite programs and things like that. So really cool opportunities there to learn and hear from professionals. Like I mentioned before, Los Angeles is a huge hub, and so being located here where a lot of the jobs and things are is really helpful, specifically related to media and entertainment, or anyone who wants to do something in communication and journalism, PR and advertising that's specific to media and entertainment. We have 11 sports teams throughout Los Angeles. USC has Division I sports teams, so there's a lot of ability to cover sports in the media. And then, of course, we have Hollywood and a lot of film and TV, and a lot of the big award ceremonies happen in LA as well. So in terms of media and entertainment, even grad students and undergrad students even are able to attend some of these award ceremonies with special like PR passes and interview and really like dip their toes into the field while they're still studying. So it's a very immersive experience. Additionally, we're walking distance from a lot of different things. So we're near the Natural History Museum, the Science Center, the Coliseum, where a lot of our sports happen. We're near BMO Stadium, which is where a lot of soccer happens. We're near the California African American Museum, a Rose Garden, and the Shrine Auditorium. And so there's a lot to do just around campus in your free time. And we're also within 15 miles and have public transportation right near campus that can get you right into the heart of downtown, to Santa Monica and Venice beaches, to Hollywood, and to Beverly Hills, and to Silicon Beach, or like the Playa del Rey area. So even though LA is a huge sprawling city, you're really able to explore, and that makes some of the out in the field interviewing and things that some of our journalism students might do more accessible to them. And then, as I've mentioned before, our Trojan Network, which is just a fancy word for our alumni, is one of our biggest bragging rights at Annenberg specifically. Our alum really care about our current students and really go out of their way to network with them, help them find internships and jobs, and really just talk with them to chat about, any knowledge they might have about the specific field they've gone in, how they got there, what they did to get there, and things like that. And our Career Development Center, which is open to grad students, is, a huge hub for connecting current students with those alumni, as well as engaging alumni to come for different lunch with leader activities or networking events and things like that. So to dive more into the programs we actually offer here at Annenberg, I'll start with our communication programs. So we have Communication Data Science, which is a Master of Science program. It's a joint degree with the USC Viterbi School of Engineering. It's a 2-year, 32-unit degree program, and this would allow for OPT extension. Comm data science is definitely more of, the computer science background. You're having a math requirement to do this program. It's very analytical, definitely more on the science side. We also have communication management, which is also 2 years and 32 units. And there is a pathway within communication management to do the STEM route and potentially get OPT extension. But communication management is a little bit less analytical. It's more applied. This is more so for working in corporate communications, post-graduation. And then we also have digital social media, which is also 2 years and 32 units. And this is a Master of Science program. And digital social media is really focusing on the analytics behind social media and statistics behind social media. All of these programs are a little bit more analytical than maybe like a public relations type of job, or, a social media marketing type of job. These are really looking at the behind the scenes and sort of the science of how the analytics and everything are working. And you're really applying the data science that you're learning to the communication challenges in the real world. We also have the Global Media and Communication, which is a joint, or not joint, but it's a dual degree. So you would do 1 year at the London School of Economics, LSE, and then you would finish your second year at USC. And so you would end up with 2 different degrees. You would get a Master of Arts from USC, and then an MSc degree from the London School of Economics. And then we have the public diplomacy degree, which is kind of a unique degree. In public diplomacy, you'll understand how the government uses media to engage and inform foreign public opinion. So students will really focus on communication and foreign affairs. You'll study the role of state and non-state actors, and you'll delve into the media ecosystem as it relates to public diplomacy. Back to the Global Media and Communication, this is really more of a boutique master's program. So like I said before, students will spend 1 year at the London School of Economics, their second year at USC Annenberg, and you'll really focus on the globalization of communication. You'll learn how it impacts politics, society, culture, and media. And it really gives the students the opportunity to gain international experience, not just in the United States. And then back to digital social media, this is learning how to manage social media, digital media, apps, online communities. And like I said before, it's more analytical in the sense that you'll delve deeper into search engine optimization, user experience, e-commerce, influencer marketing, and entrepreneurship. And then communication management, you're really looking at research and implementing strategies for marketing communication, entertainment, media, and creative industries. You'll focus on leadership and understanding organizational communication. And there's a lot of hands-on learning by replicating the real-world industry scenarios and developing communication solutions. And yeah, like I said before, communication data science is joint with Viterbi. And so you're really looking at the opportunity to take classes both in engineering and in communication. So you're learning the foundations of computing and data science and Python from Viterbi. You don't need any coding experience for this program. You will learn it in the program, and then the classes you'll take through us at Annenberg, you'll learn how to use the data science you're learning and applying it to communication challenges in the
So my name is Monica Reynoso. So I'm the representative from the USC Marshall School of Business, and I'll just be sharing a little bit today about more about USC, about our MBA and our business programs, our application process, and then we can go ahead and have some time to answer any of your questions that you may have for the program. Okay, so the list was shared a little bit earlier ago. So just a little bit about University of Southern California. So we are located in the city of Los Angeles, and we are a top leading private research university. This year actually celebrating the 145th year. And every year we actually get students from all around the world, from over 110 countries, including many of those here at Marshall. So USC has 23 schools and different academic units, and we have a huge student body of about 47,000 and a global alumni network, so including students from Colombia, from other places around the world, leading up to about 460,000. And one thing for our students here, you'll actually be hearing a lot about our alumni network, our Trojan family and Trojan connections. So that is actually huge here at USC and at Marshall. And this is just a little bit of our campus. So as you mentioned, we are in the heart of Los Angeles. So a huge part of the tech industry here in LA and in Southern California. And we have a huge entrepreneurial ecosystem. So a lot of people are looking to start their own business, that are looking to move up in their current company or actually pivot careers. It's all available for students here. So why Marshall? So depending what you're looking for in a graduate program, as you're kind of looking to take the next step in your career, we offer a wide variety of real world learning. So if you're looking from anything from investments, global immersion, global business, technology-based education, anywhere that you're looking to grow in the tech business, we offer all of that here. I'll go over a couple of our different programs, but we do have different programs that specialize in data science and analytics, as well as AI and machine learning, digital competition, risk management, finance, global supply chain. And then one of the big things here at Marshall I mentioned are, along with our Trojan network, is that leadership ability. So with that diversity, equity, and inclusion, we have great emphasis on leadership and business sustainability. So that's actually huge here on campus. So our MBA programs, I'll touch a little bit on both our MBA and our MS programs. So depending on what it is that you're looking for, if you're, or also if you're undecided. So if you're looking at one area or another. So within our MBA programs, you are able to gain the skills, the strategic thinking, communication, the leadership, and relationship building. So this is definitely for students that are looking to advance in their leadership roles. So if you're already in a company and looking to expand in the next step, if you're looking to switch careers, if you're looking to do a complete pivot, this might be the program for you. A lot of our students here are also looking to expand their professional network. And really get out there from the beginning. So all of our students are involved with different organizations here on campus, as well as off campus, with internship opportunities and really with having that global mindset. And I would say the MBA programs we have here for it's more for like the career paths if you're looking for doing like in a management position, consulting, finance, then this kind of would be the path for that. And we offer a couple different options. So for the MBA, so if you're looking for a master's in business administration, we have one path that is an accelerated MBA. So that is completed in 1 year. So that I would say the majority of our students are those that are already mid-career professionals. So they've been in their career for a while, 7+ years of work experience. And that I would probably say really heavily emphasizes the either moving up in a role or doing a career shift to something completely different. And we also have it broken out in the full-time MBA program. So that one takes 2 years. So the 1 year accelerated, that one does go really fast. It is very heavily impactful, but it is 1 year, you complete your MBA and you're done. The full-time MBA, for that one, we have more like early career professionals. So average 5 years of work experience. And then we do have our Prime Globe organization with that actually gives students the opportunity to connect with global businesses around the world. So that one is a little bit more for earlier career. And I know in the presentation earlier, we went a little bit over application criteria, but so we do with both. You submit your application, your resume will be a huge part. Work experience is a big part of your application. Also submitting transcripts. In the presentation earlier, Lisa mentioned submitting official transcripts, making sure that your application is complete with all the required documents just to not delay any of the processing. And then GMAT and GRE scores. So that we do offer our programs actually some require GMAT and GRE, others do not. So for those, I would definitely recommend looking on our website and kind of seeing what is required for that program specifically. And then test scores, so obviously TOEFL or IELTS, making sure that that's submitted with your application as well. And it's very important when you're actually completing your application and submitting everything to make sure that it is fully complete upon submission, just to make sure that the processing is not delayed and you meet the deadline to get your admissions decision in time. So in addition to our MBA programs, we also offer a variety of Master of Science programs. So these are our MS programs that it's a little bit different. It's more if you're looking to develop more skills in a specific area. So rather than the general like management or consulting MBA option, this is more if you're looking to diversify your background, if you're looking to become an expert in a specific area. Work experience for these is not required. Obviously, if you do have any work experience, we still want to see that in your resume when you submit your application. And then the duration of these programs does vary per program, so it's from 1 to 2 years. And most are STEM programs as well. So for those specific, I would recommend looking on the website for specifics. And then so application criteria, it is pretty similar. So your undergrad degree transcripts, GMAT or GRE for test scores, those do vary by program. So again, checking on our website, seeing what's required for each program. TOEFL or IELTS or any of the other language proficiency test. And then there are video interviews required as part of the application criteria as well. These are kind of our more popular programs for our masters. So business analytics. So if you are looking to go into the business side with an emphasis on data science, computer science, business intelligence, statistics, business analytics is kind of a great roundabout for all of that. MS in marketing. So that's more of you could definitely have an interest in sports entertainment, technology, marketing. On the consulting side, on that side, I will say for either of these, this is specifically marketing, being in Los Angeles is a huge perk for this just because of the huge entertainment capital here. And then the MS in finance. So this, if you're looking more into corporate investment, banking, financial, and anywhere in the financial market. And again, LA, we're located, in downtown Los Angeles. So it is a pretty great market for that as well. And all of this is huge within our alumni network and connection. We also have our global supply chain management. So being in Los Angeles as well, we're really close to the Port of Los Angeles. And so this program emphasizes working with companies, with global supply chain managers on the operations side, and it is a huge competitive market here. And then we have our MS in entrepreneurship and innovation, as well as social entrepreneurship. So if you are definitely looking to like start your own business, expand on a current business that you may have, this may be the program for you. So looking to start a new venture or expanding your own, a family-owned business, or social entrepreneurship, this actually is a little bit of a balance between your own business or expanding within an organization. So if you work for like a nonprofit and looking to move up in that role or expand on something on social impact, that may be an option for you. And as you're learning all of these, you could explore different programs at a time. If you're undecided between one or two, you could actually apply to more than one program. And then as you kind of start going down the pipeline, seeing what would be a better fit for you. And our admissions team is here to help you along the way. So just next steps. If you are interested in any of our Marshall programs, our MBA or MS, we have the application. I'll share the link in the next slide. And so making sure you're obtaining your transcripts, your resume, chat with the current student. We have various student ambassadors that you could actually connect with for each of our programs, as well as our admissions team that are here to help you answer questions. We also have a lot of events, so virtual and in person. So if you're not able to attend in person, you can join. We have actually a virtual open house next week that you could attend and connect with members of the programs and answer any questions on admissions. And then just preparing for your GMAT and GRE if your program requires it that you're looking to apply. And then just keeping in mind the application deadlines. So we do have different rounds of application. For scholarship, we definitely recommend applying in the earlier times just for scholarship opportunity. And those are merit-based scholarships that we offer. So this QR code actually links to our website. So you could scan it to link to our website. And this is also our email if you have any questions about the program. But I could also open it up for questions right now if you have any.
Hi, Monica, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for all of the information. I really appreciate. I'm looking for do my master in business analytics, which is a huge opportunity. And I wonder what kind of scholarship do you have in the university and how do we apply for that? Or maybe if I can have your email address, and I have another questions in mind, but in this moment it's just those. So I'll be super happy to text you an email.
No, yes, of course. And so I would say definitely the email that we have on screen.
Okay.
We do have a specific representative for business analytics that could help you just answer any help with applications and then getting started, as well as like test scores and all the requirements. Just include in your email that you're looking for business analytics as well. And they also have consulting hours, so they could schedule a time to meet with you and answer any questions that you have about the program. The application is open for fall for next year. So if you are looking to start the application, you could actually get started on that anytime, and then they'll be available to help you as well. And if you want to speak to people from the program, I would definitely recommend next week. They will actually be a part of our virtual open house. So if you are able to join, it is online, and they'll have people from the program that could answer specific questions for the program.
Thank you. And how can I get to the virtual open house?
So if you, let me actually include the link because I don't have it on here.
Thank you.
I just have the QR code, but I'll do the actual registration. Just give me one moment.
Is there any other finance aid besides COLFUTURO?
Yes, so all students are eligible for merit-based scholarships. So that you're able to, that is actually just automatically considered when you apply. So you definitely want to make sure that you apply within the earlier rounds, but all students are considered for a scholarship with that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I just included the link to the registration for the event next week. It's going to be on the 16th, so a week from today. A week from yesterday.
Yeah, got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if there are not any other questions, I could include my email here, so you could also reach out to me directly, and I could connect you if you have a specific program you have questions for.
Yes,
I could
that
actually.
would be great.
Okay, perfect, and I'll connect you with that representative. I just included my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out, and I could connect you with the rep.
Thank you. That would be great because sometimes I've been researching some universities in California, and sometimes it took a little bit more time to reply back. So that would be great. Thank you for your email, and I will send you an email.
Yeah, well, if there are not any other questions, I want to thank you both for joining. Like I mentioned, my email is open. If you feel free to reach out, I could connect you with the rep for your program. But definitely the virtual open house next week. It'll be a more in-depth about our programs and admissions process if you have any questions. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Masters of Science in Applied Psychology program webinar. My name is Desiree Mendez. I am the admission counselor for our residential program. Our college is directly under the university's Dornsife College Letters, Arts, and Sciences. So we are a one-year master's program that is offered both in person and online for our students. This webinar is designed to give you more information about the program's curriculum, learning outcomes, and also more about the program's curriculum. So today we'll be covering MAP's overview. We'll talk about the curriculum, learning outcomes, the experiential learning we offer, our career outcomes. I'll talk about the financial aid requirements and also the application requirements, and I'll leave time for some questions at the end. So just to give a brief overview of our program, the Masters of Science in Applied Psychology was founded a little over 15 years ago under the name of Masters of Science in Human Behavior. We then switched over to the Masters of Science in Applied Psychology to better go on with our current curriculum. We focus on applying psychology through consumer and organizational perspectives. So the program is unique in that sense that our curriculum combines both the consumer and organizational psychology in our curriculum. So students don't have to pick a track, whether a consumer track or an organizational track. The curriculum embeds both. So at the end of the program, students are able to apply psychology concepts in both consumer aspects and organizational concepts as well. We find that providing students with what we call a blended curriculum allows the students to have a better understanding of the type of issues and problems that businesses are facing from either a consumer or organizational lens, and also allows our students to further explore other careers and other industries. Students engage in a full-time on-campus immersive experience. So the program is only one academic year long. So it is 9 months. You start in the fall semester and you finish by the end of the spring semester, which is around May. We also try to be very globally relevant. So we provide students with contemporary curriculum where you'll learn how to apply your education to real life situations and scenarios. You'll also be required to complete an internship during the spring semester. And we also offer optional summer internship programs and spring break trips to get you really exposed to the different business environments and different business aspects through a global lens. Also, while you're here, our program is taught by distinguished faculty. All of our faculty are currently working full-time, and they are full-time practitioners, meaning that they are currently up to date with all the trends in the industries, both on the consumer and organizational side. So it's very important for our students to get that up-to-date information so that they're current on current trends and current laws that are also going into effect. Also, our faculty have a very interactive and engaged network, and our students are connecting with that network and also participating in various activities and curriculums with their extensive network. So as I discussed, our program is broken up into 2 semesters, so it's just 1 academic year. The first semester is your fall semester. You are required to take a total of 5 classes for the first semester. These are the breakdown of the semester. So in the fall, you'll take your research methods in applied psychology. You'll take a qualitative methods in applied psychology class. You'll take what's called a pro-seminar course. You'll take a consumer psychology class, and you'll also take an organizational psychology class. So you'll take 5 classes, a total of 18 units the first semester. The second semester, you are taking the same 5 classes. However, it is 16 units because some of the courses have fewer units. This semester, you'll take the pro seminar in human applications. This is part B of that first section you took in the fall semester. You'll also be required to complete a 240-hour internship requirement. You're also required to complete what's called a treatise capstone in your psychology 592 class. And that is a research project that you are proposing on your own. And then you're also conducting research and presenting it to a business audience at the end of the semester. And you also have 2 MAP electives that you'll be taking this final semester. At the end of the program, we have 4 key learning outcomes. Students gain valuable experience and learn how to apply their education to real-world situations across the globe. So for learning outcome 1, you'll be able to learn to apply key psychological theories and concepts to issues facing contemporary organizations, their employees, teams, and consumers. For outcome 2, you'll be able to design, conduct, analyze, and present to a business audience both qualitative and quantitative research that is responsive to business needs and credible income business decisions. For outcome 3, you'll be able to advance organizational goals to internal and external constituencies using written, oral channels of communication. For outcome 4, you'll seek new opportunities to apply psychology in the ever-changing world of work and human endeavors and be prepared to think broadly and creatively about potential career applications. So as I mentioned, we really focus on the experiential learning part of the program, which is heavy on the second semester. This is taking everything you learned the first semester, so all the core classes, all the core qualitative and quantitative methods that you've learned in the first semester, you are applying it in the real world the second semester. So through the experiential learning process of the program, you are required to complete an internship, which is 240 hours. It is reviewed and approved by both the the career counselor and our program director. It does have to be related to program goals, meaning you do have to be working in a business setting, whether in an org or consumer space. It can be either paid or unpaid. We do have a full-time career counselor on our team that works with our students and our alumni. So there is a lot of opportunities for our students to network with both our alumni and also with folks that are already in the field to get acquainted with the type of work experiences and the type of internships that are there. And it just gets our students a broader understanding of the type of networking that is required once you graduate from the program. There's also a treatise capstone, which is a research project that students have to propose. So you come up with a problem either in a consumer space or in an organizational space. You'll present what that problem is, and you'll present your research findings or methodologies that you can use to solve this problem. It is typically a 30 to 35 APA style paper. You are starting to work on it during the first semester in your pro-seminar class. So come second semester, you already have your draft and your literature review for that project. So it's easier for you to pick up on it and just continue on for the remainder of the semester working on that. So it is original applied research. Again, in the fall, you create your proposal. at the end of the fall semester, you are partnered with one of our faculties so that they can be your advisor. This is the person you'll be going to if you need help with your research methods, if you need help with your literature review, or to further find or extend your literature review. This would be the person that would be your backup or your support. They will also be your reader for your proposal and for your project, and they'll also be one of the final readers in conjunction with our program director to give you the final approval. So in order to complete the program, you do need to complete your treatise project, and it does need to have a passing score. To continue our experiential learning process of the program, we like to offer global experiences for our students. So our fall and spring break global immersion trips are a unique opportunity to provide students with a more global experience and a global perspectives. Through this experience, students are able to explore topics like cross-cultural leadership, consumer marketing, and organizational change while experiencing the rich culture of the cities visited. You are traveling with one of our professors. So our professors are guiding you through the trip. They are ensuring that you gain most from the trip to help deepen your understanding from both the consumer and organizational trends, both across the world through on-site company visits and also activities like immersive shopping experiences so that you get more of an experience of what it feels like in the consumer lens or how marketing trends are in different parts of the country and of the world. So for spring break, we take our students on a 1-week trip to a different part of the world. This past year, we took our students to Santiago, Chile. For the spring, we'll be traveling to Tokyo, Japan. So there's a lot of opportunities for our students to get more immersed in the culture and also get an idea of how companies and businesses are running there and how they are applying psychology in their companies. We also offer a summer internship experience. This is where students can spend 8 weeks and complete their 240-hour internship in Dublin, Ireland. So if you want to complete an additional internship in the summer, let's say you graduate in May, you're not ready to go into the full workforce yet, you're not ready to go back home, but you are still ready to complete more internship, this would be a good opportunity for you to get that abroad experience. You are able to complete an internship there. You are rooming and boarding at the University of Dublin, and you're staying there 8 weeks. And we also have a faculty advisor that meets with you regularly to ensure that you don't have any questions, or if there's any issues in your site, that she'll be there to address and help alleviate whatever those concerns may be. We have a partnership with various businesses in Dublin. We consider Dublin almost the Silicon Valley of Europe. So there's so many opportunities for our students to tap in during the summer. And we also partner with another agency which connects you with these experiences. So there's a bit of an application process where you submit your resume, you submit what you're interested in or what sectors you're interested in, and that partnership that we have with that organization will connect you with an internship in Dublin. So we provide extensive career development for our students. We do equip students with the knowledge to apply psychological principles in business context, and we also help foster career success in both internal and external organizational roles. Approximately 75% of our graduates land a job 3 to 4 months after graduation. And as I mentioned, we provide extensive career planning and support through our career counselor. Her name is Dr. Urmila Patil. She provides one-on-one resume review for our students, interview practice. She connects students with different organizations, different job opportunities or different internship opportunities so that they can get really familiarized with what's out there beyond the program. We do offer a wide variety of professional development services in the program. So in the fall semester, our career counselor offers a MAP career fair where she invites folks that are connected with the program to interview our students for potential internships in the spring. We host alumni panel, both on the consumer and organizational side, so that our students can get a better sense of the type of careers and the type of jobs and things that our students are doing in the field. There's also a Career Matters series where we bring folks who are in the industry to give students different workshops or different workshops or different career development strategies that students can use. Again, these are folks that are already in the industry, are senior leaderships in different organizations, and are essentially giving back to the community by mentoring and influencing our students in the different sectors that they can go into. We also provide internship workshops, resume workshops, and there's also a job board that's currently being updated weekly by our career counselor, which we give access to all our students once they're admitted to the program. And on this job board, our career counselor is updating the different job opportunities and internship opportunities that she comes across that are on target with the program's goals and are on track with your goals as well. On here on the right side, I have some of the most common positions our students are going into, and I did divide them by the organizational and consumer side. That way you can get a bit more of an understanding of the type of roles that are within each of those tracks. Again, our program is not track specific, so in the curriculum, you will learn both organizational and consumer psychology. Again, we feel this is very beneficial for our students because you might come in wanting to go towards an organizational psychology track path, but then you start taking a research methods class and you're working on a consulting project through a consumer lens, and then it changes your trajectory of what you want to go into. So we don't want to limit our students. We want to be able to give you that flexibility so that you can switch around and have that flexibility beyond the program as well. So some of the most common positions that our students are going into, and the org side is more of the organizational development, people and culture management, on the HR side as well. And then we have folks who are focusing a lot on the consumer side. One of the most popular ones is user experience research or user experience consultancy. That's a big one that we're tapping into. We have folks that are going into market research, both in the entertainment industry and also in the sports sectors. That's something that we're tapping into. We have folks that are going into social media marketing, brand management, and this is all through through the consumer psychology lens. So the program will teach you how to apply psychology concepts to solve consumer problems in a business world. Alrighty, so our application requirements, our application is now open. So we are accepting applications for the 2026-2027 academic year. We have two deadlines. We have a priority decision deadline, which is January 5th, and we have a regular decision deadline of March 1st. The priority deadline, we do advise applicants to submit their application by the priority deadline because it does allow you to be considered for all scholarships that we offer through the program. Not just scholarships through USC, but also our department scholarship that we offer. And the regular decision the regular decision deadline is March 1st. You're typically notified within, I want to say, 4 to 6 weeks of submitting your application, whether you've been admitted, denied, or are being placed on the wait list. So there's 4 different aspects that are required in the application. Personal statement being the most important here. There are 2 questions that we ask. One of them being, how do your background, experiences, and interests lead you to seek ways to apply psychology in organizations for the benefit of consumer or employees? And question number 2 would be, why do you believe USC MAP can help you achieve your career goals? The second required document are all your official transcripts. You are required to submit transcripts from all the undergraduate institutions you have attended. And as was mentioned in the first main session, you are required to submit them in the original language they were issued. So please submit them in the language in Spanish, and our department will go ahead and take care of the translation and also take care of the grade evaluation process. You'll also need to submit a resume. You are required to submit a professional resume that currently highlights your work history and your skills Typically, what we recommend students to submit is a resume that is parallels or highlights the skills that are needed in the field, especially if you have research experience or experience with data or statistics. You'll want to highlight that in your resume, especially for our program. We don't have a specific requirement for a curriculum, but however, we would want to see students that have some type of research experience or some experience working with data, since that is a big part of the program. So if you do have that experience, please highlight that in your resume. And also, you are required to submit 3 letters of recommendation. I do recommend at least one from a professor or from a professional recommendation. The other 2 can come from other sources. I would refrain from sending any from a friend or a family member, someone that you know outside of an academic or professional setting wouldn't be ideal in this case. So the application is housed through the USC graduate application. As mentioned by Lisa Kwan, you are able to apply to 3 different programs each term. So when you see the application, you'll get a drop down of all the different programs that are offered at USC. You'll look for applied psychology, and you'll indicate that that's the program you're applying for. You're also required to submit $105 application fee. Again, as mentioned by Lisa, there are different application fee waivers. Also, if you don't qualify for any of the fee waivers offered by the graduate admission office, you can reach out to me via email, send me a copy of your resume, and I can review that and determine whether you are eligible for a department fee waiver or not. Okay. So I'll talk a little about the tuition and financial aid because it's pretty standard for USC. So because MAP is a full-time program, our students are charged at a flat tuition rate. So the tuition for the 2 semesters, this is just tuition, is $73,260. And then you have a healthcare fee, which is mandatory. You have a programming fee that's mandatory. And you have a transportation fee that's mandatory and a topping fee that's mandatory. Everything, books and supplies down is, they're not direct costs, they're indirect costs. However, this is the standard budget that's allocated from the financial aid office for the year. So in total, the estimated cost of attendance with books and supplies, with housing, dorms, and all that stuff will come to a total of $106,000. $106,000 with $146. And graduate students, if you are a domestic applicant, you are eligible to receive a graduate student federal loan. There's typically 2 loans that are offered by the financial aid office. One is a unsubsidized loan and the other is a graduate plus loan. Unfortunately, international students are not eligible for federal student programs. However, they are eligible for private loans and also for any department funding that's offered by the departments that you're applying to. And as I mentioned in the application deadline, all applicants who apply by January 5th will be considered for our fellowship program and will receive a one-time stipend award of $4,000 that can be used towards tuition or other educational expenses. That does conclude the presentation. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know now, or you can send me an email. I do have my email and my LinkedIn posted here, and you can reach me either way. Again, our application cycle is now open, so you can go online and start an application. Or if you're still not sure if you're going to apply or just need a little more information about the program, we also offer informational webinars each month. So you can sign yourself up for one, or you can set up a one-on-one meeting with me throughout the semester. I will have also a personal statement workshop at the end of the year. So around early December, mid-December, I'll send an email with that information, or you can visit our website and you'll get the information of all of our info sessions there. Does anyone have any questions?
Llamo Carlos Moreno, un placer estar con ustedes hoy. ¿Qué les cuento? Soy recién graduado de la maestría en Ingeniería Industrial y de Sistemas de la Escuela de Ingeniería en Viterbi. Estuve en el programa 2 años con la ayuda de COLFUTURO, con la beca el convenio que hay de la beca de COLFUTURO, que fue una gran oportunidad, fue lo que me otorgó la oportunidad de poder estar en este programa. Estuve en el programa 2 años. Me pareció un programa genial, la universidad es genial. Primero que todo, la parte académica es pues una universidad excelente, reconocida a nivel mundial. El nombre de la universidad pues va a marcar la diferencia en una hoja de vida. Pero más allá de eso, la universidad es una comunidad completa en sí. Pienso que la universidad brinda oportunidades tremendas en la parte de networking, en la parte con la gente que te topas en la universidad día a día, los eventos de la universidad que tiene la universidad día tras día. Should I go on or
Oh
sorry,
no,
I
I don't
thought.
want to interrupt you. No, I have it on the background, but please feel free. Whatever
Okay,
you think is
okay.
relevant. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Entonces, no, bueno, fue una experiencia muy chévere. La universidad tiene, como les decía, eventos todos los días de tanto de la parte profesional como en la parte no académica. Tiene clubes de todos los tipos, pues intentar cosas nuevas cada semestre. Entonces, eso me pareció genial, que es algo un poco diferente eh, de ir a una universidad más pequeña, a una universidad en otro país. ¿Qué más les cuento? Eh, Mediante estas oportunidades, pues en mi caso se me abrieron posibilidades de, de poder hacer pasantías. Estuve haciendo pasantías tanto en Cummins como en Tesla. Entonces hay oportunidades tremendas aquí en este país, y pues la universidad es un medio por el cual se pueden abrir muchas puertas. Entonces, eh, por supuesto, pueden tomar mi correo, lo voy a escribir en el chat, mi número, y pueden hacerme preguntas, escribirme, o si quieren cuadrar una llamada, alguien que esté interesado en aplicar a la maestría en ingeniería. Me gustaría responder cualquier pregunta.
Thank you, Carlos. I do think you have a question from
Okay, yeah.
Johnny. Yeah, I think, let me see if I can unmute him. Oh, I'm not able. Johnny, if you want to type your question in the chat for Carlos, we can respond to it. But thank you so much for the introduction. If you all have any questions about Carlos's experience or in general, please feel free to put it in the chat, and we would be happy to respond to you. I see some of you are raising your hands, but I'm not able to unmute you, unfortunately. So yeah, feel free to type your question in the chat. I'm going to proceed and just giving you a general overview about the engineering programs here. I see there's a question about PhD. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and dive in here. A little bit about the Viterbi School of Engineering. So we have 6,680 graduate students. These are students pursuing their primarily master's degrees in engineering and computer science, but about 1,000 of those are pursuing PhDs across 8 different departments. And I'll share with you what those academic departments look like. We are a research university, a tier 1 research school, and make up about half of the research that is being contributed to the university. So if you are interested, even as a master's student, participating in research, there are opportunities for you within your academic program or outside if you want to volunteer in a lab or take on an internship in a research center. The School of Engineering alone has 38 research centers, including some that are in Silicon Beach, which is about 30 minutes from our university campus. We are in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. You heard earlier in the general presentation that our alumni network is very strong and very important to us. We are very global, tight-knit community, 104,000 strong from the Viterbi School of Engineering alone. I know this is probably something you hear from many universities, but I promise you, the moment you are in Southern California and after your USC experience, you will feel the impact of this. Our Trojans truly help other Trojans, and they are found in the industries that are most important to you, and they really do lend a hand. And it's shown in the career opportunities available to our students as well. We do have alumni who are working in companies that come to our campus to recruit our students for internships and jobs. Next, I don't know if my screen is moving forward for you all. It looks like it paused. 1 second here. Okay. So just highlighting some of the research that has come out of the USC Viterbi School of Engineering. This is really groundbreaking work. It is solving society's greatest challenges and the challenges of tomorrow. Our alums paved the path for the deployment of ChatGPT. We have work being done in socially assistive robots. In the biomedical world, it's just incredible. Developing technology to restore vision to the blind. Incredible therapeutic treatments for different cancers. There's just really incredible work, and it allows you to work with faculty and researchers that are paving the way. So you are getting to have interactions and building community with people that are really working on cutting edge, innovative research. We also have had recently a really big investment in specifically the area of computing and AI. So we have, it's called the Frontiers of Computing Initiative, and we have developed, it's kind of a new school within the School of Engineering known as the School of Advanced Computing. And it's bringing experts from all over the university, from all different areas that touch computing into this one big powerhouse. There's going to be lots of new research opportunities. There's a new beautiful building, incredible facilities there, and really, really amazing faculty that are being recruited within the School of Advanced Computing. That is going to especially benefit our computer science students, our electrical and computer engineering students, as well as our data science students. I already touched on kind of the career support that you can expect as a graduate student at USC. It's so much more robust than you can imagine from one event. We have constantly, as Carlos mentioned, there's almost events every day. We have networking mixers, we have mock interviews, we have all these ways for you to interact with prospective employers, to develop professionally, and make sure that by the end of your graduate program, you are advancing your career in the way that you hoped and want to achieve. So here are the various academic departments that we offer within the School of Engineering. These are kind of the umbrella departments, but there are many programs inside each one of them, and a lot of specialized programs as well. So when you pursue a master's program, it's really a wonderful opportunity to gain expertise in a very specific field that's directly applicable to industry. Our master's programs are course-based programs, so you are not required to do a thesis, you're not required to do research, but again, you have those opportunities if that's of interest to you. And I mentioned we also have the PhD programs across all of these departments. If you are interested in more than one program, you are more than welcome to apply. You can apply for up to 2 programs within the School of Engineering, and it's covered under one application fee. So that's just a quick tip. Also, if you have a different background, if your background is not in engineering, or maybe it's in a certain kind of engineering and now you want to progress into a different one, that's perfectly acceptable for us. So I encourage you to explore all of the different programs available within these various academic departments. I covered most of this. Our master's programs can be completed in 1.5 to 2 years. We do offer programs that start in both fall, so now we just started our semester, but also we have programs that start in spring, so in January. In fact, our application, if you are interested in starting in January, is still open, so you may want to consider that. In terms of requirements, we are looking for a bachelor's degree. if you have a relevant background, perfect engineering, computer science, math, or a related hard science field is generally what we look for. If you are applying to a computer science program, that's one of the more in-demand competitive programs. We do look for people who already have a computer science background. But if you don't, we do have a special track for scientists and engineers to give you some foundational coursework first. So you would submit your online application that includes your transcripts from any university you've attended. Those can be scanned or digital copies of your official transcripts. We'll look at your resume and a personal statement, which is the essay that you write to share a little bit about your background and why you think you are a good fit for this particular program. Some master's programs do require letters of recommendation, but many of them have it optional or not required. So definitely double check the specific requirements for the program that you're interested in. In terms of PhD programs, Alba, I know that you asked about that. We do offer fully funded PhD programs. These tend to range between 5 to 6 years. And of course, these are for students who already have a demonstrated experience and strong interest in research. So to qualify for our PhD programs, you should have at least a bachelor's degree. A master's degree is not required to qualify for a PhD, but you should show that you've done some research during your undergraduate years or maybe through a summer program, and that can be demonstrated through your personal statement as well as your CV. Here is a snapshot of the various research areas at Viterbi. This is, again, just an overview. There is so much more. If you are interested in applying for the PhD, the best thing you can do is understand what faculty and labs are at our school and make sure there is a strong match between what you're interested in and what we offer here. Because in your application, you will have to identify maximum 5 faculty at the School of Engineering that you would be interested in doing research with. Finding that match is so important. And I can give you resources to help with that. The PhD admission process is a little bit different from the master's admission process. So for PhD, it's a faculty committee that makes those determinations. And once they determine, yes, there's a match, yes, the student is admissible, that will also come with your funding. So when you're offered a PhD admission, that comes automatically with the full funding, which covers your tuition, your living expenses, and a healthcare package. In terms of the requirements, very similar to master's, the main difference here are that 3 letters of recommendation are required, and you definitely want to demonstrate that research experience, which you can do in the more detailed CV, as well as your personal statement. I did not talk about exams yet for master's or PhDs. The GRE is not required for master's or PhD, except for astronautical engineering and industrial and systems engineering for the PhD programs. All the other programs do not require GRE. You will also have to take an English proficiency exam. Let me see if that's my next slide here. Yes, so you can take the TOEFL or the IELTS. These are the minimum scores, depending on if you're applying for the master's or PhD. But as Lisa mentioned earlier, it's okay if you don't meet the minimum score. When we review your application, first we focus on academics. Do you meet the requirements academically? Are you eligible? Are you a good fit? If you meet the English requirement, so if you meet this minimum requirement, we can waive you from any English course when you come here and it's done. If you have a lower score, we're still able to admit you, but we would advise that you keep taking the exam until you meet this minimum score before you start the program. Because if you don't, then you will have to take an English exam when you are here at USC, which may require additional English courses, which you don't want to have to do while you're, doing your master's program. So there's usually questions around this. I'm happy to address if there's any confusion there. In terms of timelines, I mentioned we have a fall start and a spring start for our master's program. For us, our spring starts in January, and the deadline for that is October 1. So if you want to start as early as January 2026, please submit your application by October 1. If you are interested in starting next fall, so if you want to start in August 2026, then you should submit your application by this December 15th. That's our priority deadline. If you want to be considered for scholarships, definitely submit your application by December 15th. If you need more time, you're welcome to apply by January 15th. That's the final deadline for the master's for fall. If you are interested in a PhD program, only one deadline, and that's December 15th, and we only offer a fall start for the PhD. I also am happy to share that because all of you are considering COLFUTURO and you're here today, we will be able to give you an application fee waiver. So if you want to get that from me, I'm going to leave my email address here, and we can provide that to you. In terms of scholarship, so we are a partner of COLFUTURO, which allows a COLFUTURO student to receive up to 50% tuition scholarship. So by getting admitted to our program, if you are a COLFUTURO student, you will automatically be considered for that opportunity. In addition to that, we have other types of partial merit-based scholarships. There's no separate application for those scholarships. When you submit your application to our school, you'll automatically be considered for those opportunities. We have wonderful current students. Carlos is a testament to our community of students and alumni that are eager to help prospective students. They were all in your shoes not long ago. You are welcome to chat with them directly. There's a QR code here if you want to talk to any current students. Maybe they're in a program that you're interested in applying to. You're welcome to go to the website there and chat with them directly. That is our contact information, and that includes my portion, but I want to leave time for your questions. I think there were a couple people with their hands up. If you could just type in the chat your questions, Carlos and I would be happy to answer them for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
Hi, I think I can talk. Can you hear me?
Oh, good. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm doing my master's right now at Georgetown.
Oh, great.
And I want to know if I need to take maybe some courses because my goal is to do my PhD in computer science because I want to be a professor. So I don't know if you can guide me doing that. And also you mentioned that I will have full tuition. Like, does it apply for me if I am an international student? Because I want to start my PhD as soon as I complete my master's. So I don't know, what should I do?
Yes. So absolutely, you can apply for the PhD program as early as this December. We would just need to make sure, I don't know if you're doing your master's in computer science or...
No, well, I do have my undergrad in computer science.
Okay.
And right now I'm doing my master's in learning, design, and technology because there they teach me how to be like a good professor, right?
Gotcha.
But right now I think I might have to take some like math classes, but not sure. So I will really have like that help.
Yeah, if you did your undergraduate degree in computer science, then you're probably fine. Then you should qualify. We do have a list of eligibility requirements for students who maybe didn't have a direct computer science background, just to make sure you took the right kinds of math courses and core CS courses. But I imagine you did if you completed your bachelor's degree in it. So you're welcome to apply directly. Ideally, you will have already done some research. You've worked in a lab environment, and that's something you definitely want to highlight in your application. But in terms of the funding, even though you're an international student, all PhD students, domestic, international, are fully funded. So that covers tuition, and you get a stipend for your living expenses.
That's awesome. Also, I have a question. Like, this is my first year in my master's. Like, do I need to start applying now or maybe next year?
Yeah, well, it's up to you, really. So if you intend to complete this master's program first, I guess I would need to work with you on the timeline, because if you want to start in fall 2026, you apply this December. If you want to start fall 2027, which is probably makes more sense with your timeline, then you apply next December. But if you want to transfer and be considered sooner, even though you didn't finish your master's program, you could apply this year. So it's really up to you and your situation.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, okay, I will follow up with you. Thank you so much.
Please do. Yeah, you have my email here. Were there other questions? I think I saw other hands raised. Santiago.
Hi, Jessica. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
I have a question about the master's degree.
Okay.
What happened when the master's degree that I want to apply for is not necessarily aligned with my academic background? In my case, I have a double major degree in economics and finance, but
Wonderful.
I have an emphasis on mathematics, and I have participated in mathematics Olympiads, math modeling challenge, hackathon, etc. And I have an internship as a medical research in a hospital where I develop statistical model and artificial intelligence models. Do you consider that this is enough to apply for instance, a master in math or a master in computer science?
Yes. So first of all, very interesting background, and there's so many options for you depending on what your goals are and your areas of interest. You would absolutely be academically eligible for several programs that we offer. Without a doubt, you would be eligible for like applied data science, financial engineering. There's like a variety of programs we offer where especially students with an econ background are very, very strong. Analytics is another one. So I can provide those to you where there will be no problem. If you are interested in Masters of Computer Science, I will send you, there's a list of courses that we want to make sure you've taken. So certain types of math, which if you have that math emphasis, you're probably fine. But there's also like 3 core type of CS courses that we want to make sure you've taken. If you have not taken those, we have a special track that you might qualify for. So long story short, you'd absolutely have options. If you're interested in a master's in math specifically, that's actually outside of my area. That's not School of Engineering. That would be our School of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. And we do have a representative in one of the other breakout rooms, or I can connect you with them separately. But yeah, we can absolutely continue the conversation. And I would encourage you to explore all the different programs to really figure out what you're interested in. And I can work with you to see if it would be a good fit.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. I also want to commend you on like pursuing all these various areas despite like what you're studying. I'm sure Carlos can attest to this too. Like we are really big on what's known as engineering plus, and that's the idea that it really takes engineering and another area, whether it's medicine or the social sciences or the arts, I mean, anything to solve, you know, really big challenges. And so there are so many ways that our programs allow for that interdisciplinary study and engagement. And so I think that would carry over really well based on your background. Any other questions? Carlos, is there anything that you want to add or anything we didn't touch on about the programs, the academics, the transition to grad school?
I would say if anybody is applying, I'm happy to answer any specific questions. In terms of broad advice, I think I gave a good short description of what my experience was. So I think if there's any questions that are more specific about maybe cost of living, even if they're more general, even if you're not interested in a program that I did, I can give you some more background on what life in LA is like, all the costs of living, how I manage my budget, and how I, yeah, any sort of question. I'm happy to chat with anybody. So yeah.
Thank you. Did you already share what you're doing now or where you are?
So I am still waiting for my job permit.
Oh, okay.
So, but I finished my internship at Tesla last semester. I worked in their supply chain, and if I don't join there, I am interviewing right now for some other opportunities. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
just in the
fantastic.
process, the transition process. Yeah.
Good luck. Actually, may I ask, did you get any support from USC or a USC connection to get the internship or career
Yes.
services? Yeah.
Yes. So there's something that really helped me was joining a club on campus called SHIP, which is the Society for Hispanic Professional Engineers. And they have a conference every year. And I was able to attend both conferences sponsored by the university. I didn't have to pay because they are very expensive. They are about $500 for registration, and then you have to fly and book a hotel. So yeah, I think those type of opportunities are what also make it worth it. I was able to go to a conference in Utah, and that's where I got my first internship. And I also the conference this year was in LA, and there was also all sort of employers, all sort of companies looking for many different candidates. And yeah, so just such a great opportunity that it's unique to the US and to USC.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have one more question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Since I'm doing my master's right now, after that, do I need my transcripts too? But I don't know if after that, those are gonna be from the US, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, we definitely will need transcripts from any higher education institution you've attended. So bachelor's, master's, we would need all of it. And even so when you apply, if you have not completed your program yet, that's okay. You can just upload whatever you have so far for your transcript. So it shouldn't be like a screenshot from your student portal. You still need to request an official transcript from your university, but then you can just upload it like the digital version onto the online application.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that. Yes, I will have to.
Yeah. So you said you're at Georgetown? Is that right? Okay. Yeah. There's usually like a registrar's office or like a student portal that you can log into to request an official transcript. Maybe Carlos, you know the terms because you did it more recently than I did. But most universities readily provide that.
But when I'm applying, I need to put the unofficial, right? Or the official ones?
We need the official ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I think because multiple people asked about the eligibility for the computer science, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link into the chat. And I will also conclude by reminding everyone that we're happy to extend application fee waivers to you. If you are interested in applying in the next year, go ahead and email me and I will share more information with you about that. And don't forget about the scholarship opportunity as COLFUTURO students, 50% tuition. And we will likely be able to expand that in the future to more than just one student from COLFUTURO. So please don't hesitate to apply. I know some people, rightly so, it's such a investment. It's a big obstacle to imagine how am I going to make this work financially. And thank goodness for agencies like COLFUTURO that help facilitate that. But there are opportunities out here. There are ways to offset costs. It's definitely not easy, but we have a lot of students who similarly are here. If they're here on a budget, there are job opportunities. You can work on campus. Of course, this is just offsets maybe living costs and stuff, but feel free to talk to us, talk to current students, talk to Carlos to hear like how it's doable, how we manage to still be okay and make sure you're focusing on your studies and your success while also living comfortably here. Okay. If there are no other questions, it was a pleasure talking with you all. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Carlos, for joining always and sharing your experiences. And I hope to welcome you all to Los Angeles one day soon.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Bye.